Most people think Codex is just like a chat GPT for coding. That's actually not the interesting part. The interesting part is that Codex can feel like a real coding workspace. You can run tasks, work on files, use parallel agents, isolate changes with work trees, and even set up automations. Welcome back to AI and Beyond YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you what Codex is, how it compares to ChatGPT and Cloud Code, and how you can start using it for building real-world applications. If this kind of practical AI content helps you out, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel and also liking this video. So think Codex in the form of workflows and not in the form of prompts. So Codex is an AI coding agent. That means it's not just answering questions in chat. It can actually help you work through coding tasks, edit files, understand a project, and move work forward. And the Codex apps is very where this gets really interesting because it adds things like work trees, skills, automations, plugins, and also supports workflow. So the right way to think about Codex is not just as a chatbot but as a workspace for coding with AI. So what's the main difference between Codex and ChatGPT? So ChatGPT is broader. You can use it for writing, research, brainstorming, uh, planning, and general purpose tasks. Where Codex is more focused, it's designed specifically for coding workflows. If ChatGPT is where you think and ask, Codex is where you actually get coding work done. And that's why Codex feels much more practical when you are working with files, projects, repeated workflows, or anything that needs structure than just conversation. So if you see here, we have two different sections, which is chat and which is project. So how it makes difference? So chat section is just you ask something and it gives you something, but project is something where it can actually build things for you, and you actually get the proper code, everything, and you can also bring it to the proper structure. But chat is you can just have a conversation, you can have ideas, you can have some plan. So this is how Codex is different from ChatGPT. Also, now let's talk how Codex and Claude Code are similar, because a lot of people compare these two, and honestly, that comparison makes sense. Both are strong coding agents, but both can work through code, help with tasks, and support real software workflows. But the feel is different. Cloud Code is very terminal first. It's strong for people who like scripting, command line interface workflows, and unique style compatibility. So Codex stands out when you want a fuller app experience with multi-agent workflows, work trees, skill automations, and a more visual work layer. So I don't frame this as one is good and one is bad. I'd frame it as like similar category but different strength. We'll start practically on how we can build some applications with Codex and what are its features. And in my next video, I'll be showing you how to build an application end to end. So in this video, I'll be explaining about the features of Codex. So I want to start with something beginner, very beginner friendly. Let's say I want Codex to create an Excel file for me. So I'll ask it to create a simple spreadsheet. I'll ask you to create for some AI daily sheet. Before that, let me go and create a project. Start from scratch. Now this is a new project. I'll ask it something like yes. Create an Excel file called AI News Daily. Add a sheet named Daily AI News with columns, date, AI News, highlights, source, URL, and notes. Get me some 10 recent AI news. Format the header row in bold, turn on filters, and make the sheet clean and readable. Yeah, click on send. So now we can see that it is running in the background. It is searching web for some recent AI news. Meanwhile, so there are these things like these settings, default permissions, where I have given it to default permissions. I have not given it full access because it runs few commands where I have to look into that commands. So I have not given the full access. And auto review is something which it reviews whatever code it has generated. and we have work locally, or also we can use to build it in cloud, or if you want to push our code into Git or anywhere. Yeah, after working on it for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, it has finally generated this AI news daily. And if I just click on it, it is going to preview me what it has generated. So we can see the date column, AI news, source, its URL, notes, and workbook. Yeah, everything. I can just click on any part of this content and I can ask it to change the color scheme of the entire Excel. Use something like light green and dark green contrast. And yes, I sent the transcript and we can see it's in the working status. So if we see here, yeah, it's thinking on it. So it's updating the Excel workbook right now. Yes, so it has changed the complete color scheme of this Excel just with a prompt. And yeah, this is one feature where we can use it for previewing, and also we can edit it just by seeing on whatever has been generated. I'll be just asking it one more modification, and the modification is remove the date column and make all the content of source column as bold characters. And transcription is done. Yes, send it. Now while this is running, I'll just create one more chat and ask it what is Codex. I'll just ask something. So yeah, now we can see that both of the tasks are running parallelly. I mean, like, yeah, this finished fast, and you can see that even this task is running. So in any normal chat workflow, usually stay inside one thread and do one thing at a time. But in Codex, I can keep one task moving and start another. That changes the experience a lot. So it starts to feel less like asking about for answers and more like managing active work. So this is one of the reason people find Codex impressive quickly. Once you see multiple tasks moving in parallel, it feels much more closer to real agent workflow. Now let me try in the same project. Let me try building a tic-tac-toe game application. Build a tic-tac-toe game application. Make it visually impressive. And yes, I am sending that message. Now yeah, it's thinking on it. Yeah, after working for some time, it has created a few scripts, and I'll just go and remove this. Whatever we are seeing here, and yes, so just click on this open and it will open us the application here, and this should be working fine. And where will I put my x? Yeah, and this is quite impressive. One more feature that I liked a lot is this annotate, where you can annotate on any part of the application that it built, and click on this and add a comment. Make a logo for the app and place it before tic tac toe, and yes, done. After adding the annotation, I'll just ask it to along with the annotation make the X and O visually impressive, and when any of the player wins, celebrate the win. Yes, and so yeah, along with the annotation, it is going to make some improvements. So along with these changes, I'll be asking for one more change to draw a line on all the three matching X or O. When any of the player wins, draw a line on all the three X or O symbols. And yes, so here you have an option for steer or queue. So this task is now queued after it executes, after this task get executed, but also we have an option for steer. So if I steer this, then it will create one more. Yeah, now the annotation, the modification that I have asked are ready. Just click on open. collapse this. Just click on open, and yeah, now we can see that it has added a logo, and when and also it has made this X and O visually impressive. So click on, and yes, all the three tasks have been performed very well, and this is quite impressive. uh, when And yeah, you can see that this animation also has been added as it wins. Now let's move into advanced features, like starting with plugging automations. So this easiest way to think about plugins is this, like the package reusable workflows. A plugin can combine skills, app integrations, and MCP configurations into something easier to install and reuse. So instead of rebuilding the same workflow again and again, you can turn it into reusable layers. If your workspace support plugins, then this is where Codex starts becoming much more than a local coding or tool. It becomes a connected workflow system. So here, when we go on to these plugins, we can see a lot of plugins that are already available. In the featured section, we can see there are a lot of plugins where I have installed Gmail. You can try with any other plugins as well. Even computer use is always allowed. Let's see how this computer use plugin can be used and how Codex is able to control the AI application. I'll just go back to my project and I'll ask it, you play as a player 1, and for player 2 let the computer play against you so that we'll be able to test the application. Yeah, I have sent this. Let's see what happens. It should be using the computer use plugin and playing against itself. There's also this Gmail plugin. You can I'll just go to new chat. You can just click at, and you can select any document, spreadsheet, or if you want to use any plugin, type Gmail, and yeah, here we go. I'll ask it, create summarization for the previous week mails that I have received, and send. Yes, so we can say that it is actually using the Gmail. So before setting up the Gmail plugin, you have to make sure that all of your permissions are enabled, and so only then it will be able to read your emails. I have got this error because I have not given it sufficient information, or I have not given sufficient permissions to read my Gmail. So you can try it with giving all the sufficient permissions. Next is automation, and this is one of the most underrated parts of Codex. Normally, AI waits for you to ask. Automation flip that model. Instead of manually prompting every time, you can tell Codex to run something on a schedule. For example, I could set up a weekly calendar recap, or a recurring project check-in, or if you want to improve any documentation after making any changes in your code, then all of that can be done. So I'll just create yeah, I'll go back to my application here, and I'll just create one automation. So we have something called as skills in Codex. So we have skill creator and skill installer. So there are many pre-built skills already available. You can use them, or you can create your own skill. I'll just create skill. Create a skill to create agent.md's file every time, and even after every modification the file has to be updated. Send it. Yeah. Yeah, so now we can see that skill.md file is created. So the skill.md file helps define instructions and working norms for a repo project. So these skills let you package repeatable workflows, so you don't have to keep reprompting from scratch. So this actually helps us wipe coding in a better way. And yeah, we have this skill.md file, and to get the skill again, we can just type slash, and we can type the name of the skill, and we can use this skill here after whenever we want to make any changes to skill.md file. So that's Codex part 1. So I didn't focus much on git push or PR publishing here because I wanted this video to stay beginner friendly and practical. But even without that, you can already see the value. Codex can create files, edit intelligently, reference files directory, and multitask, use work trees, support plugins, run automations, and become more customized over time. And this really just the starting point. So in my part 2, I'm going to use Codex to build a complete application from scratch. So if you want that video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video. That motivates me to make more such kind of content.